I played over 80 hours of Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and there's something shocking that you all need to see. The developers have shown us that they want to make our wildest combat dreams come true. In trailers, they've shown us characters hitting 9,999, as usual in RPGs, but they've also snuck in some shots, breaking the damage limit, going over 15,000, 20,000, and they've even issued out challenges, being excited to see what people are going to be able to do with this combat system. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to bring you all this. Yes, guys, that is 273.9 million damage. Guys, I think it's safe to say that we've absolutely destroyed this game. But it's not going to stop there. I think 300 million is very possible within this. I've seen in recent trailers from Sandfall that they've showed us the menu and different pictos that you can get. And some of the pictos they showed us in those trailers, I haven't gotten in my game, and I've pretty much 100%ed it. I haven't gone through New Game Plus yet, so I don't know if there's going to be new pictos in New Game Plus specifically for us to unlock. So this number very well may not be the craziest that we see in this game. So subscribe and hit that notification bell to help raise that 38% even higher, so you don't miss out on any of these crazy guides we have coming for this game. We're going to teach you guys how to break the damage limit and go even further beyond that with every character in the game. And we also have a lot more where that came from. I'm going to be uploading a full Let's Play starting tomorrow. All episodes will be available for members initially, so make sure that you join the gift tier so you don't miss out on our first journey through Clair Obscur Expedition 33. You'll see my raw reactions, my struggle against the game's many challenges as we continue to grow into becoming a god. Because you're also going to see how I discover some of these crazy builds live, and the foreshadowing leading up to all of it is so beautiful to witness. Episodes 1 and 2 will be available for everyone to view, and we'll be making more available every day. Before we get into the video, I do know there's a lot of people who love turn-based combat but do find the camera movements to be a little intense in this game. I totally get it. You can actually disable the camera movement entirely. This is an option in the settings that you can change, which is great to see that the devs put this in there. For me, I personally like having the camera movements on because it feels amazing in combat when you're quickly going through the menus and you memorize your inputs and it eventually looks and feels like an action game. You can also disable the QuickTime events for offensive attacks for your characters, but you cannot disable QuickTime events for the enemies. You can, however, just play the game on story mode difficulty, which makes it so that the enemy attacks don't need to be parried, dodged, or jump. So it's great to see that the devs give us so many options in this way. And even so, the game still poses a very strong challenge, and I really love that aspect about it. Expedition 33 was a game that we first saw last year get a trailer, and immediately it caught everyone's eye. I was already sold, but every public viewing kept bringing me in more and more. And eventually, we did get an early preview for creators a couple weeks ago, where I got to play 4 hours of the game. It was everything that I hoped it would be. The devs truly are fans of JRPGs, from Legend of Dragoon, Lost Odyssey, Final Fantasy, Super Mario RPG, the list literally goes on. After that preview being such a fantastic showcase, I was worried. I wanted more. But in the back of my mind, I did have that fear of what if the rest of the game doesn't unfortunately stack up to what it's already set up? What if the quality drops off and they let us basically only play the best parts of the game? This exact same thing actually happened to me with the previous game on this channel, and I've been kind of scarred about it. Well, not scarred, more on the cautious side. However, with Expedition 33, I can confidently say, after 80 hours in, the game never has a weak moment. It's constantly engaging in its story, exploration, combat, and mystery. The mystery in this story, guys, when you finally see the direction that they're going with in this, it's gonna absolutely blow your mind. And I can't wait to make videos and gush out to you guys about this. Almost every character and their backstories are explored very well, to the point where I think everybody that plays this will have a favorite, and it's going to be hard to choose between them. The parry, the dodge, and jump mechanics are super addicting, but be warned, and just a heads up, you are going to die a lot as you're trying to learn the timings of these things, and that's okay. Because when you learn the timing, it's probably the most satisfying thing about the game. The slowdown effect. the vibrations. Dude, the way the characters clap back and dish out even more damage than the enemies are trying to deal to you, it's quite possibly the most satisfying thing about this game. There's a lot of enemies that will fake you out. They have long wind-up animations, they swing moves at weird intervals compared to other enemies, and overall give sound chimes where there aren't supposed to be. Again, you're gonna die a lot. But eventually, it will all click. The timing window for me works best just waiting until I see an enemy actually swing. It's kind of hard to explain because it's more about feeling the parry window, if that makes sense. Keeping an eye on their limbs, of course, when you see a move about to connect with you, that's kind of when you have to mash it literally right before. Some windows are a little bit more generous. You can hit it a little sooner, but if you can wait to the last possible moment to hit the parry, it's been a little bit more consistent in that way. And there is no, I repeat, there is no picto to improve the parry window. And I'm kind of happy for that. If you want to improve the parry window, just honestly use the dodge. It's twice as long of a window to nail compared to parry, and if you see the perfect dodge animation on screen, that just means that if you would have parried there, that would have been the perfect timing for it. So in a way, you can use the dodge to learn enemy animations and the timing for things to get better at the parry. The parry is a high risk, high reward because you can get a huge attack off once you land all parries or parry the final hit in most enemy combos. And you gain 1 AP per parry landed, so you can jumpstart your offense on your next turn. Dodging doesn't give any AP at all, nor do you return any damage, but very early on, literally the first picto you get, you can apply to your characters. It's called dodge picto. Basically, it gives you AP per dodge landed, and everybody can equip it thanks to the Lumina. It only costs 1 point. There's gonna be a lot to learn, and you're gonna love every second of it in this game. There's even optional enemies that in combat force a minigame where you can only parry and they non-stop attack you, forcing you to get good at the timings. So I can't tell you guys enough how fun those fights are actually. I feel like every time I come across one, it's pretty exciting. I come out from that encounter even better at my parries, and I kind of want them to add more of those in the game. Now, between parry and dodge, the jump mechanic is probably the easiest to land. It's a huge window, and you could always strike back with the right trigger button or the R2 button while you're in the middle of the air. I love Lune's animation for this because she does like this max pain jump back and blast double triggers with her hands. It's so sick. This game has a lot of style. They show it off pretty often. And not only that, it feels good accomplishing these things. Now, the weapons in this game, they actually scale in the same way that weapons do in Souls games, where you have a grade on certain ranking stats going from D to S. If you allocate stats specifically towards that letter, it can actually boost the overall power of that specific weapon, giving you more power to focus on that. It's just important to know this before going in so you don't waste stats on skill points in the wrong areas like I did. But also don't worry, reallocating and resetting your stats is a regular, easy currency that you come across in the game. You're pretty much expected to constantly recode your characters often. That's what it's called, recoding. Because new weapons with different abilities just might show up that you might like and want to experiment with. But don't worry, we're gonna go deep on the weapon specifics for characters in dedicated future videos. This is generally good to know, but for now, just enjoy exploring the game. The amount of side content in this game is so damn rich in the sense that they absolutely respect your time and they don't lock you into any of it. You're free to start and leave off and return from any side quests at any point, and exploration is highly encouraged. Early on, it might feel like it's kind of an issue that the game doesn't have a stage map or navigation system in that way, which is fair, but it's absolutely a design choice, purposely done, because the way that the levels are crafted, there's no one direction that looks like that's the correct path going forward. There are some detours that will take you on for minutes thinking that you're continuing the story, but you come across an optional boss or tons of valuable pictos, or you unlock a shortcut back to where you ended up detouring, like in Souls games. There's a huge sense of discovery, and I haven't felt this way in a long time actually, since I played Elden Ring. Every location that you progress going further continues to intrigue and keeps you moving in that direction. There's tons to do in this game. There's jump puzzles, speed runs, boss challenges, scavenge hunts, but get this, there's actually no fetch quests. 0 of them. I was actually shocked by this. A lot of the optional and hidden boss challenges are so well done that I felt bad for completing them because I found myself wanting to run it over and over again because they have some of the best aesthetics in the game. And the game's super boss actually borrows a lot of inspiration from another amazing game. I don't want to spoil it, but you gotta find them and get clapped by them and experience that fight. It's actually really damn good. The side content in this game is full of life too. When you get to the end of the game, you're actually presented with the opportunity to explore more of the world, to start tackling side missions or to proceed finishing the story. If you're like me, I'm sure many of you guys will do this. You'll immediately go towards finishing the story because there's a bunch of twists and turns in this story, and they actually caught me off guard a couple of times, which was kind of refreshing. Normally, I can kind of guess exactly what direction these twists or what direction the story will be going in. And I can honestly say this one did catch me off guard. I mean, the story is really damn good. At that moment, when they present you with that option, all I want to do was to see what happened next. I'm not joking. It really does lock you in mentally. And after completing the story, or even before, you can go through the side missions, which have a fantastic quality to them. I wasn't expecting the amount of cutscenes and dialogues to actually occur during these side missions that we got. It truly does make it feel like the same quality of the story, which is what I loved about the Batman Arkham City games. Side content there felt like it was part of the main story, and that's something that I also felt with Expedition 33. I also hope this message comes across to the devs, but I would love to see some DLC in some way, where we can go through dungeons, testing out builds to see how just crazy far we can take things. I think with this game's combat system and variety, something like this would really push its replayability to even higher heights. There's already tons of replayability in it. I'm just saying, some of these builds we got are so busted, you might often find yourself wanting to nerf yourself to get more of a challenge once you unlock them, because it's pretty damn strong. I would even take a Balatro style challenge where you complete different rooms, maybe 10 to 12 different levels, and technically you win, but then you have the option to continue going forward in more randomized survival modes in a roguelike fashion until you truly lose. No real like leaderboards in that way or anything of that sort, just like a fun challenge to play endlessly and stack up against friends. If that's something that's already in the works, hey, no mind to me, just keep on cooking. Hard mode is actually available from the very beginning. It's called Expert, and it's actually a challenge. I actually, unfortunately, had to turn down the difficulty at one point in my playthrough. You're gonna love that footage, by the way. I genuinely enjoyed being pushed that hard, and I love that sense of defeat. But just know, I went back and I got my revenge ASAP. And I'm happy to confirm that there is a New Game Plus available in the game. I think we talked about that a little earlier. I have, however, saved that for our streams because I do want to go through all that with you guys. But of course, with the positives of this game, there are some issues. Now, bear with me. There is a few that I have to state out. They're not game-breaking by any means. It's just little things that I feel I need to mention, and hopefully are things that they could eventually add in. The devs did tell us that there is a day one patch coming to fix many issues and bugs, and they've even said the day one patch will also fix issues with New Game Plus that currently exist with it. But there is one thing that I've been talking with other people who have come across, and they agree too. There are some collectibles throughout the world that you can find, and they can at times be hard to see, which is okay. But what's difficult is there's no real way to keep track of what areas you've already checked or where you previously found these things. So chatting with other people, we're all like kind of stuck trying to go back into footage to see where we might have some items that others might be missing. It's kind of funny to say this in an age where people are complaining about checklists existing in games. These are not like Ubisoft Towers tier, but it's just something that we've been so accustomed to having. It's kind of difficult without a wiki existing in early access, just to help with the searching at this point. Again, it's not a big deal, just a minor nitpick. The world map also doesn't have any fast travel. It encourages you to fly or swim to and from locations. There technically is a fast travel, but that only exists once you enter a stage. You can travel once you enter a stage from expedition flags to other expedition flags that you've already reached within that stage. And also Esquier, he's amazing. He's great, absolute mood lifter and a joy to hear talk. I love this dude. But if he says flashing through the sky one more time, and trust me, it happens very often, it's as sensitive as whenever you press the sprint button. It triggers it all the time. We gotta reduce the frequency of this, please, especially with how much exploration we do in this game. You're gonna be hearing that pretty often. Also, the music in this game is phenomenal. It's literally Nier-esque with that Final Fantasy flair, the good old top tier quality music you would expect from your favorite RPGs and Square Enix. There are tons of tracks littered throughout this game, and all of them have stuck with me. I find myself singing them or jamming out to them while I'm editing videos. Unfortunately, none more so than the world map. I see you, I feel you, Sweeney Todd ass song. No, I'm not joking. While this song is great and catchy, I love it, I do wish we had the option to use any of the other extra songs we find on the world map within rotation. As of right now, songs are only accessible at the camps, and once you get to the end game, you don't really find yourself going to the camps all too often, unless you're like prompted to. And it's usually for like a quick moment to reset something or whatever. Using the music at the camp is great, but the audio mixer there I feel like is kind of bugged, where if you have character dialogue at the camp while playing the music will actually overpower the character's conversations. So keep in mind, I don't know if this will be patched, but you might want to adjust your music volume to a little lower than what it is by default. Might not be an issue for you guys, but with me and my headphones, it was. And one other thing to mention, there are some bugs where depending on where your character is on the world map or certain stages, you can get stuck or fall into the ground. I've actually reported a few of these already to Sandfall, but the way that the game's save system works, this actually is something to easily fix. If you find yourself stuck in the map, that is. You can actually open the start menu and load up a recent save, which the game is constantly saving almost every 30 seconds, it feels like. It gives you multiple save points within that threshold too. So you can always reload a save if you do get stuck, and it will teleport you back a couple of seconds. But what's really cool about this is if you're in a battle and you're on your first turn, say you used the wrong skill or you missed an item or you want to go back, you could actually press start in the middle of the battle to reload the most recent save file, and it will take you to right before the fight, giving you a chance to set up properly or obtain any items you might have missed. Major shoutouts to Night Sky Prince for that tip. He found that around the 30-hour mark of the game, and it's been super clutch for me ever since. Especially when you're trying out new builds or new skills and you want to see how they function, that type of stuff comes really in handy. Also, when it comes to saving, you can force a save by walking up to a flag and just opening and closing the flag. It does an autosave for you in the bottom left corner. We're gonna have a more spoiler heavy video where we dissect the story because there is a lot to talk about there, but there are so many theories, so many possibilities that we have to have a discussion as a group, and I will be doing that with our usual crew. We'll be having a special guest attending too. I can't wait to unveil all of that. Sandfall Interactive have officially went and created one of the most important games of all time. With a team of 30 people, fraction of a budget as most games, they managed to craft a phenomenal gripping story with unique and mysterious characters, fucking insane combat, and not only that, the world that they have built with this one, I'm very excited to see how things will play out. And don't just take my word for it, guys. This game is only $50 right now on all platforms. I think $45 on Steam, but I can't recommend enough. You guys should definitely take advantage of this $34 sale right now on Instant Gaming. I'll be linking it down below where you can secure this. And this is just for the standard edition on Steam. You could actually get the deluxe edition for $40. This is absolutely worth it. And if you're on PlayStation and you want to secure this game, it's $50 right now, of course, but you can get a PlayStation Network gift card for $48.89. I'll be linking both of these down below for you guys to secure and get your hands on it, because man, it is absolutely worth it. Because Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is not a game that you want to miss out on. At this price, the amount of value that this game holds is something that we've never seen before. If you guys are not a fan of how action-based combat have been taking over RPGs of recent, this is the one game where it makes turn-based just as engaging as action-based and more. They put a lot of love into this stuff. The sheer amount of flexibility with Pictos and Lumina builds, there's a lot that this game has to offer, and I can't wait to share you guys some of the amazing builds that we've come up with. This is quite literally the game that you've been wanting your favorite companies to make, and they're able to take so many creative risks with it due to the fact that they are an indie developer. Like I said, this game is made by 30 people, and it pays off so well. So many choices in this game would not exist in a major AAA studio game, and it's that freedom that they exhibit that makes it so fresh and gripping. I hope it does end up sparking many more developers to take notes and see what makes this game so special. Whether you pay full price $50 or $45 in the current sale, or the $33 sale that we presented on Instant Gaming, wherever you decide to buy this game, you will not regret getting this game. Expedition 33 will be a game we talk about for a lot of years to come. We have a lot of combat builds, individual character videos, as well as awesome secrets coming your way, our Let's Play videos, and narratively, I do want to break down the backstory of all characters because there's some really interesting stuff that we have to discuss. The game releases on April 24th. I don't want any of you guys to miss out on this, so be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new. More Clair Obscur Expedition 33 videos are on the way, and you don't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ, and remember guys, tomorrow comes.